Hey everyone, 24/7 here with my specifically, not the ABW one, because Zach and Aaron is doing a separate one, of review of Survivor Series, and there's another thing that happened during the show, but just Survivor Series as a whole. I liked the show. It wasn't, like, if we're taking just the matches into an account, it was good. Like, I would give it like a good 6 out of 10 as a show, maybe 7 out of 10 as a show, because it's just like an average, not mid, because mid to me is like bad. This is a good show, not great by any stretch. There is a couple things I wanted to mention. I did write it down, so I didn't forget. We were almost at 300 subscribers. We had time of filming. We are at 297. I wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support you've given us throughout all this whole year. Like, this whole year's been so weird for the channel. Like, it's been weirdly good, but also like mixed at the same time. We're almost at 300. I have 2 goals in mind. One, when we hit 300 for sure, I am doing a live stream. Just a fun celebration live stream, or I'll do something special. No, we're not doing a match because, yeah, it's just with the weather right now. Because it just snowed. If you guys saw this YouTube short I posted, it is snowing like hell outside right now, and it's gonna be really hard to travel. So we're probably not gonna be able to get a match in. Maybe the rest of the year. That's just a thing. I'm sorry, but yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying the WrestleMania reviews. That's keeping us over. Next review is 23. So yeah. Next, thank you guys for checking out all this. Like I said, with the stuff we've been posting recently. The Cold Day in Hell short, 203 views, guys. Thank you. Like, that's crazy. We posted 7 videos over the past couple days. Like, yeah, it's just been a great week for content. So I wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart and everyone here in ABW. So thank you guys so much for that. It means the world to us. So if you guys like what you're watching, and if you aren't subscribed, and I know we aren't the kind of people who say this a lot in our channel. So if you do like what you're watching, please subscribe. We do notice it. It helps us eventually get to a goal, because if we hit a certain goal, we can hit like memberships and stuff, and we want to do more with the channel, so we can only do that with your guys' support. So thank you guys, because without you guys, we are nothing, and I think Zach and I will agree. And I don't know if he'll say anything in his review, but like he said, wrestling doesn't work without the fans, and it's because of fans like you that we are able to do this stuff. Like, if you guys didn't watch, we wouldn't be posting. So thank you guys so much. Like, it means the world to us. But yeah, Survivor Series. I liked this show. This was a good show. Let me pull up a card. Let's start with the women's WarGames match. That's Team Becky, so that's Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Bianca Belair taking on Team Damage Control, which is Asuka, Bayley, I almost called it Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. This was a fun match. This was a very fun match. There were a bunch of spots like Io holding the trash can and just doing a little up. Big thing for me that I took out of this match was Bayley. Yes, she ate the pin in this match, but she like took so much shit and to save a bunch of her teammates. So I feel like they're gonna build onto that storyline. I really thought Damage Control could use this win, but I think the whole thing with like Bayley and Damage Control right now is going to be really interesting. So I'm really curious to see how that goes. I give the match 4 stars. I liked this match. It was a fun match. Nothing amazing, but it was still pretty good. It was a fun match to watch. It was just fun, dumb, comical violence. And if you can, we have some clips that if you guys want to post it, like other clips that we didn't show for for the PLE, just let us know and we will tell them. Like, I have one for the EO store, I think. We have a clip of Zaginator getting excited because they're like, oh, a table, because Zaginator wanted a table so bad. But yeah, it was just such a fun match to watch. Next, Gunther defends the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz, and a pretty good match. It went a little over 10 minutes long. The Miz, they've done a good job of building up the Miz as this like babyface character who's willing to do heel things, and I like that. It isn't like over the top as I would say like MJF, but that's fine. They're different. I feel like they're different characters. I don't really see the point in comparing the two. But I like this match. I like this match quite a bit. And also, if I'm ever looking at my phone, it's because of the notes that I wrote down. Because I write all my notes on here. But yeah, I liked this match. It was a good match. It wasn't anything special. And I thought, well, in the feud, I'm like, oh my god, Miz is finally gonna have a 5-star match. It wasn't a 5-star match. I give them. It was okay. They had a nice story of Miz working on like Gunther's leg, like hit it in like the post, put in the figure 4, like yeah, and then Miz all got the upper hand a couple times during this match, which really surprised me. But I don't think it should be that bad. Like I've seen people be like, oh, why is Miz being shown as not equal, but like you know, not even on par with Gunther, but like something along yeah, something like that, pretty much. Sorry, I'm just jumbling my words a bit. But yeah, like I think people need to remember that Miz has been wrestling for almost 20 years now. He's he's like 42 or something. Like he knows what he's doing. He's been in this business long enough to know, you know. But yeah, this was a good match. Not like I said, nothing special, but it was good. Gunther put Miz in a Boston Crab to win. I give the match 2.5 stars. I liked it. It wasn't anything special. Like it was okay. Like I don't know what else to say. Um, but yeah. Um, next, Santos Escobar takes on Dragon Lee. So Dragon Lee was put in this match when Santos, but Escobar took out Carlito. Um, it was good. Like it was just a bunch of high spots, but I didn't. I think the problem was, and I don't know if Zach will agree with it. There was like I felt like no connection while watching it because this feud hasn't been about Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. It's been about about Santos versus the LWO. And I heard a rumor that they're going to bring up Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza from NXT, so that's going to be a really good duo, and I'm very excited for that. There were good high spots. You know, just look at these two guys involved. You kind of know the kind of match they're going to have, but I didn't blow my expectations away, and I don't think it was going to, because like I said, there was a disconnect. It wasn't bad. Santos wins. I give it 2.5 stars. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. Next, Rhea Ripley with a cool like mohawk hairstyle that I really liked because I like almost everything Rhea Ripley does, and I don't care except her matches. Because one thing I will say about these matches, about her matches specifically, like she's a great character. Her in-ring work is good. It's just I never feel her matches like go to the next level. Like there's been a couple, but this was not one of them because you never felt like because with her reign, I think the problem with her reign specifically is that you don't ever really feel like she's in danger of losing her title. Like she could get worked over in the match, but you never feel like she's going to lose. And I don't think that's what you. That's kind of also the problem with like the Roman Reigns matches recently for me as well, where it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I know who's going to win, but it's like there isn't that chance. Like with the Miz, like even with the Miz match earlier, like Miz could have won. Like there was a really close near fall. There wasn't anything like that in this match, and I think the match definitely suffered for it. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't bad either. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great or mind blowing either way, which really sucks because I love Rhea Ripley and I love Zoe Starks. No disrespect to Zoe Starks, she definitely really tried in this match, but it just I don't know. It felt like it just kind of happened. Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide for the win. I'll give it 2 stars. It wasn't awful, like I said, just nothing mind blowing, honestly, and that's fine, honestly, because it was a 5-match card, and I expected a little better. Like, you're given all this time, but I feel like the only reason this match is these matchups are so kind of is because of the WarGames matches. But then again, the WarGames matches were only half-hour long each. So yeah, that makes sense. Oh, also, backstage segment, R-Truth returned, which is awesome. I've never really noticed until, because I watch Raw highlights. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown or NXT. I just watch highlights. Zackinator tells me the highlights for, like, because he watches the shows, and I don't. He just tells me what happens. But I do watch highlights of, like, AEW, and so I let him know. I didn't do that for Rampage and Collision, because why? It was fucking Survivor Series. Why would I watch Collision or Rampage? I love Edge, and I love Sting, and I love a lot of AEW wrestlers, but fuck, why the fuck would they do this? I want to go on a little rant about this, because this is a short card. I can talk about it. Why the fuck do they run Rampage and Collision on the same night as fucking Survivor Series? Because you think you're gonna fucking, like, oh, win viewers over? And I saw Tony Khan's Twitter. He's like, oh, thank you guys for watching. And I'm like, why? What the? Why? You're not gonna gain anything. You're just gonna lose. You look like a fucking idiot doing it. Whatever. It's tangent over. Next, let's finally get to the men's WarGames match. So the prominent story throughout most of the night is whether Randy Orton was actually gonna show up or not, because they were like, hey, he's not here. Is he gonna show up? And they were just kind of talking to Cody like, is he gonna show up? And there was this thing where Jay's like, man, it's my fault he hasn't shown up because, you know, like, I'm the one who took him out. He's not wrong, and I will talk about that. But yeah, this was a good WarGames match. It wasn't like the best WarGames match I've ever seen, because I've actually never seen any of the WCW ones. Neither has Zach, so that might be something. If you guys want to, like, for next year, if you guys want us to watch all the WarGames matches, we can do that. Like, we can watch all the WarGames matches and all the pay-per-views on them. I'm gonna hold my breath for that, because that's gonna be real bad. But yeah, so this was Team Rhodes, as I've dubbed them, versus Team Judgment Day. So Team Judgment, or Judgment Drew, as I've seen, because I think that's hilarious. So it was Judgment Day, which is Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, who's finally in the group now, awesome, and Drew McIntyre, who's not in Judgment Day, but is working with Judgment Day because he wants one thing: Jey Uso in a cage, because Jey Uso cost him the biggest moment of his career. Which is fair, yeah. That was like, and that's something I love that they're expanding on the fact that, like, yeah, the Bloodline fucked people over, and Jey has to pay the consequences for it. And I love that Jey has been owning up to it and been trying to do stuff to, like, win people back. Like, he's won back Cody over Sammy, like, cause yeah, the whole story is Roman's a manipulating piece of shit. And Jimmy, we don't talk about. Solo, just, we'll see with Solo, because Zack Nair told me, he's like, yeah, it's almost Rumble season. What's Solo gonna do? Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen to the Bloodline at WrestleMania with a certain someone. But yeah, let's talk about this match. This was a fun match. Oh, Team Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. I've been talking about so much. I forgot to talk about who's in the babyface team. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and the return of Randy Orton. Now, Randy Orton's been gone for 18 months, and this whole storyline of, like, oh, was he actually going to show up or not, was a good idea. And I will talk about why it's a good idea near the end of this match. We'll talk about that. But yeah, there was a lot of fun stuff in this match. You know, it was typical stuff, but I want to talk about mainly the match. A lot of this match was just cool spots, but honestly, not as many as with the women's WarGames, surprisingly. I think in the long run, if it wasn't for the Randy Orton, like, return and the stuff afterwards, I think I remember the women's one more, but there were less moments in the men's one, but they were bigger, so I think that kind of, I'd almost say it evens out, but yeah. But yeah, there were a lot of really fun fun There was a lot of good stuff. I have stuff written down. It's gonna be fine. Damian Priest had a metal riot baton, so that was cool. Sami Zayn, when he came out, grabbed part of like the WarGames ring, pulled it out. It was like a lead pipe. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, but they had this whole thing of like Judgment Day having like a plan, and he was like, we have a plan, and Damian Priest, who I love that they've announced as the leader of Judgment Day, which is awesome for him because I'm a huge Damian Priest fan. He's like, no, 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 the plan, and then me and Zach were like, what's the plan? And we're trying to figure it out, and then I figured it out. Zach, well, actually, we'll get to that. Yeah. We were because Randy Orton didn't come out with the team. He was still not there, and we were waiting for it was time because they have a counter for like 3 minutes for it. Um, yeah, and then they hit like so Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre hit like a triple choke slam. I think it was like Rhodes, Rollins, and Zayn. Oh, it was so fucking cool. And then um, Damian Priest hit a fucking Razor's Edge onto Rollins through the table, and then we're like, okay, what now? And then the buzzer hit 0, and we're thinking, okay, this is when Orton's coming out. No, it's Rhea Ripley with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and we're just like, oh my god, Damian Priest is gonna fucking cash in the briefcase. Because me exactly, and that's why I was like, okay, that was cool, that was clever. Me and Zach were talking earlier in the show, and it's like, wait, Priest doesn't have his briefcase, and he's like, and I was like, oh my god, the plan, and I'm like, yeah. So that got me really excited. Yeah, and then right before the contract to cash in, I hear voices in my head. Randy Orton has returned after 18 months of being on the shelf. Been over a year and a half, which is crazy. Yeah, he was just to hit those slams, get in position for an RKO, then turn around to Jay, and then he looked at Jay, picked up, and then went, I remember. He's like, I fucking remember, bitch. Don't think I do. Because of all the people we want to fuck with in WWE, Randy Orton is one of the last people I would fuck with. Because that guy holds fucking grudges. Yeah. Yeah, and then Jay immediately hits Damian Priest with a super kick, showing like, dude, I'm here, I'm gonna help. Yeah. Now JD McDonough was chased up in the corner of the cage, and then I think it was Rollins and Zayn or someone, or Jay and Zayn were just like pushing him down. Orton caught him with an RKO, and then he told Cody, no, you do it. You hit the crossroads, hits the crossroads on Damian Priest, which is weird, and then 1, 2, 3 win? And I'm like, okay, I was okay with the babyfaces winning, but I didn't expect Damian Priest to get pinned. That's interesting. Because I feel like now more than ever, who gets pinned in a match does matter. Like with the whole Bailey thing earlier. But yeah. Now, why did they have Orton come out like this? Well, let's talk about the thing I think everyone wants to talk about. I made you wait 20 minutes. Let's talk about the return of CM Punk. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Like, it still feels so fucking unreal to me. If you guys watched the video, which I was very proud, go definitely check it out. But like, CM Punk is back in WWE. They had the graphic in the corner. Yeah, like right there, something like that, or right over here, like this area, right, right here, and they had it up, and then oh my god, you could hear mine and Zach's reaction like, "It's CM Punk!" And we were so happy. I cried afterwards. I'm dead serious. I was so happy. I was like almost gonna cry. Because CM Punk has come back to WWE after 10 years. Not 10, almost 10 years actually. Because he got his final match was the Rumble 2014. So his first match probably is gonna be at the Royal Rumble, which is crazy. I love the fact that Punk is back. I was very doubtful. I was like, I would love it. That would be great. Yeah, but this is why Orton came back the way he did for two reasons. One, I think Orton coming back and being put in a cage would be dumb. I think people will agree with that. It was kind of dumb, but also building that anticipation of like, oh, maybe it could be Punk, because you can hear CM Punk chants throughout the fucking night. Because this is Chicago we're talking about here, and Chicago will love CM Punk no matter what he does. But yeah, like CM Punk is back in WWE. It's so weird. Like, it's I don't know. Like, it's so fucking weird that CM Punk is back in WWE. And the fact that they were like kind of teasing him throughout the whole show, and then it's like, oh, Randy, and then Randy shows up, so Randy Orton didn't get booed of the building. Was very smart and very clever, and I like what they did. So, yeah, I'm excited. There was a couple things that I should mention. Some stuff we found out afterwards. I think everyone's seen the video of Rollins being fucking pissed and just going like, "You," to to CM Punk, and he was just visibly upset. I personally think that this is going to lead to a feud between them for the world title, and I would watch the hell out of that. Are you kidding me? Them main eventing WrestleMania, so they can both say, "Yeah, I main evented WrestleMania," and I would fucking love that. I would love the hell out of that, actually. And then Drew stormed off after Punk's music started, and he was just like, "Nope, fucking getting out of here." Like, he was mad, man. I'm like, I don't think that's a work though, because apparently CM Punk only told one person, and Triple H told nobody. I think it was him and Nick Khan. Like, nobody was told about this at all. Like, nobody knew CM Punk was coming out. So you can see some people were visibly pissed off, because Corey Graves and Michael Cole had to fucking hold Seth Rollins back. And I'm like, oh my god, I love it. This is great. But I feel like Rollins is a professional enough to where he will work with Punk, but not like him as a person. And that's what you're supposed to do, I think. I think the problem with him in AEW is that AEW, the management situation isn't great. I feel like if they were run like WWE, they wouldn't have the issues much. I love AEW as much as the next guy, but I think the way their management set up is a bit weird, where they actually have wrestlers in management, and then the people actually in charge. Not to diss Tony Khan, because Tony Khan has good qualities about him, but he definitely has never worked with that before. And a lot of those guys in AEW haven't wrestled as long as Punk, and Punk has worked in a different environment. You know, like, yeah, I'm excited for Punk. He's gonna be on Raw. I'm excited. Orton's gonna be on Raw. It's gonna be an interesting 2024. I hope CM Punk stays. I heard it's gonna be a multi-year deal. So yeah, yeah, CM Punk is back. I don't know what to say. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm so fucking excited. I don't think Punk's gonna work with Reigns until after Reigns drops the title, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's a lot of, I think Survivor Series did one thing very well, is now I'm very fucking interested to see what happens on Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, you want to build that intrigue. You want to see, what happens. Yeah, that was my review for Survivor Series. Zack Snyder will have his review filmed and posted tomorrow, so if you want to go watch that, you'll have to wait for that. I'm very excited for that review. That's gonna be good. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Survivor Series. Thank you guys again so much for all the support. I will try to film more shorts. I will try to upload more. I will see if Zach wants to upload more. But yeah, we'll see. been 24/7. I will see you guys next time. So, see you guys later.